Hi, my name is Dio, the Marketing Communication Managers at Momentum Electric by Kia. So what gives this campaign a unique spin? As a result of the recent EV campaign, Aussies have now moved from should I get an EV to what brand should I choose? That's where we get our chance. All content today will answer just one question. How does Kia win the buyers who has decided on an EV but has not yet decided on which Kia they prefer? Okay, so here's the brief in one line. So Australians are choosing to buy electric vehicles, and we have a job to get them to choose Kia. The goals were set by the board, and these three numbers will guide all. We want to sell 7,500 EV units, and we want to capture 12% of the battery electric vehicle market shares, which is currently sitting on 8.1%. And to achieve these two numbers, there's only one idea in total. So one segment, one positions, one target. And awareness was established via the EVC campaign. So this campaign does not need to create awareness, and this campaign needs to convert. Okay, how should we position Kia against rival EV brands? So picture the market using price and trust on each axis. The top right area is owned by Tesla for both premium and most trusted. The bottom left is where the new entrants brands such as BYD, Geely, and MG have positioned themselves. They're priced very competitively, but not yet viewed as trusted or having enough depth in their dealers' network. Therefore, there's a void that has been created which nobody has taken, and this vacant space is exactly what Kia will occupy. Therefore, I'm going to position Kia as the no-compromise family EV. It offers the same type of range, space, and service get from long-established brand at a non-premium price point. So positions can only work if it targets the right individuals. Therefore, which group? Australian families that have a strong emphasis on values and are looking for their first transitions to EV, which are the ones researching for both BYD C-Line 7 and the Tesla Model Y. Why these three groups? So they represent the single most valuable targets. Mid-size SUVs account for 50% of the total EV sales in Australia. They can be targeted via search engine, social media, new car dealerships, and no-rented leasing. And they have fixed needs: space, safety, range, and trust. How does this differ from the EVC audience? The EVC campaign aimed to raise awareness among all potential customers. And our campaign will appeal to a smaller and more defined group of customers that have decided to purchase an EV but needs help deciding what model or brand. And our campaign has been designed to influence rather than inform. And we have a solid goal as how we will develop Kia's battery electric vehicle sales. By June 30, we want to increase our BEV market shares to 12% from its current 8.1%, while selling at least 7,500 battery electric vehicles. This is a smart goal because we will measure success based upon both VVAX and EVC reports and by virtue of being time-bound. Will this be an attainable goal? The answer is yes. In 2025, Kia has already increased sales of battery electric vehicles by 125% and now ranks third in total EV sales behind only Tesla and BYD. And that was bold, but with the rates of growth Kia has experienced since then, reaching 12% seems like a reachable target for us. So how do we get people to buy? That's the board's second questions. So the hierarchy of effects model, okay, so think of it as ladder, okay? It will go from awareness, knowledge lacking, preference, conviction, then the purchase. The key is knowing which states your buyers are on. The board's own words tell us that they're aware and informed, but undecided, stuck just before convictions. So spending on more awareness just repeats EVC and waste budgets. And our focus is preference and convictions, moving people from I'm considering an EV to Kia is the one. At the conviction stage, we have to do more than just get their attentions. We have to eliminate the concerns of the family so they will commit to buying. And all four of these tactics related to a single key benefit claims, the EV your family can trust. So the first one is going to be comparison content while they are shopping for another cars in comparison to other cars. So like the range, space, warranty, service, etc. The second one is proof and reassurance. And the third one is going to be experiential test drive, because once they feel the car, nothing will beat what they saw in advertisements. And last one is retargeting, which nudging those that have been engaged with the purchase process to book that test drive. Should we use a remote conveyor? An indirect route that is deliberately driven by curiosity? And so my response to this is generally no. It is good for building the feelings at the top of the funnel, but that is not where our buyers are. They are now comparing brands and needs factual answers on range, price, trust, and service. Therefore, the trade-off is clear. An indirect route may win attention but will withhold the information needed to convert. And feelings without facts won't move a family in 6 months. So I would stay direct and benefits led and only use light remote conveyor touch as distinctive element, never as lead. So the stage and tactics are set. The board's last question is the mix. Three things decided it. A conviction stage. Audience, a $1 million budget, and a 6-month target. Two tools do the heavy lifting. First, digital and socials with search and retargeting. It is where undecided families compares EVs, precisely targetable and measurable to the dollars. Second, personal selling through dealers. The closer that converts leads and handles objections live, and its key structural advantage over thin networks rivals. So this choice doesn't just fit the funnel, it reinforces our positions. So knowing what to cut matters just as much. The two tools I'd avoid. First is mass broadcast TV. It is expensive and untargeted, and it just rebuilds awareness we already have, and spending a capped budget on a finished job. Second one is heavy discounting. It is non-franchise building. It eats away at our trusted, no compromise equity and trains buyers to wait for the next sales. And cutting both protects the budgets and the brand. So to organize it all, I use peso model, leading with own and paid. Own media is our engine, the website, configurator and cost calculators, where conviction is built and the message is controlled, and it's paid through targeted social and search. It drives the right families there and powers retargeting. Then shared owner, stories and earned PR supply the trust. It mirrors the funnel, paid to reach them, owned to convince them, shared and earned to reassure them. And the budget follows the funnel. Around 60% goes to lower funnel conversions, 38% to paid digital and social, 22% to dealers enablement, and the rest funds own content, family test drives, PR, measurement, and contingency. And one principles, not a dollar wasted rebuying awareness. And every line measurable against our 7,500 units and 12% target. So let me pull it back to one point. The first one is going to be one segment, which is first switch families. And the second one is going to be one positions, which are the trusted, no compromise families EV. The last one is going to be one objective, which are the 7,500 units and 12% shares. Conviction stage tactics, a measurable lower funnel mix, and peso models and budget that converts inside the $1 million. That's how Momentum Electric turns Australia EV interest into Kia sales. Thank you, and I will happy to take any question from you.